We've got barbecue back here. You're all invited. Welcome to the SloopCast. How are you doing today, Kyle?
Doing all right, Jared. Doing all right. How are you doing today?
You know, I'm doing okay. We're recording this one a bit early, so if there's any late breaking news this weekend, we are not aware of it. Gee, why didn't you guys talk about that? Oh, well, because we have travel plans this weekend. We were recording this one early. Get over it. So what we're doing today is a season preview of sorts. This has become a tradition. We've done this a few years in a row now. I think it predates 2020, but was interrupted by 2020. But these are the preseason Austin's over-unders. If you are a longtime listener to the show and you've listened to our Know Your Enemy episodes of the podcast, then you might know of Austin's over-unders. One of our longest tenured, I hate the word fan. We'll say member of the SloopCast community. Member of the SloopCast community, Austin, likes to give us over-unders. Yeah, member feels better probably. Yeah, just fan feels gross. Like I'm putting myself above. I don't like it. Anyway, longtime member of the community. And he, before each game, gives us a list of over-unders and we go through them. And we've also been doing preseason over-unders for a few years now. And that's what today is. Austin has given us a list of nearly 40 over-unders to do 32. Okay. Just over 30. They're actually numbered in the thing. Where is it? It's 31 plus 1. 31 plus 1. We'll say 31 plus 1.
All right. Well, let's not waste any more time, Jared. Let's go ahead and get right into it then.
Yeah, let's get right into it. And then he coughs.
Yes, many coughs. All right. Starting quarterback total rushing touchdowns.
Now,
over under is 4.5.
4.5.
CJ Stroud as a starter at 0.
For his, not just last year, for his career
as a starter.
Did he get one as a true freshman? No, I don't remember shit.
Yeah, he had the one as a backup against Michigan. Don't you remember that one?
No, I don't remember shit. I don't retain memories, Kyle. I'm a big picture guy. No, I remember.
Was it Michigan State?
I'm messing with you.
Okay.
Kyle McCord, I would say, less mobile than CJ Stroud. Is this a fair assessment? I'm gonna go under on this one.
Yeah, I'm going under as well too. It just doesn't seem like getting 5 touchdowns or higher is what we're going to see this year. Yeah, I'm going under as well.
Yeah, and just so we're clear,
nothing showing me that we're going to see a lot of quarterback touchdowns.
Yep, and just so we're clear, it is the starting quarterback. So just in case it's not Kyle McCord, it does say starter, but even if it's Devin Brown, I don't care.
Yeah. All right. Marvin Harrison Jr. catches. Over under is 88.5, which is a lot.
Spike said over before you read it. So recent history. Nobody went over 88 in 2019. 2020 doesn't count. In 2021, JSN got 95. And in 2020, Marvin Harrison got 77.
2022.
Excuse me, 2022. With whatever I said is wrong. But yeah, in 2022. So in the past 3 years, this has only happened And again, we're not counting 2020. In the last 3 years, this has only been achieved once. He got within 11, well, 12 technically, of this number last year. It feels high, and it's not because I'm in any way discounting what Marvin Harrison Jr. is capable of, because he's capable of a lot. But it's a very deep wide receiving core. I still feel the need to go over, I think. And I say that mostly because you have a young quarterback who's going to be like, there'll be moments, especially early, of confusion, of panic, and he's gonna look for a safety net, and that's Marvin Harrison Jr. So yeah, I'm gonna go Kyle McCord to Marvin Harrison Jr. over 88.5 times, or anyone to Marvin Harrison Jr.
I'm gonna go under here, mainly just because I think this year, if the running back room stays healthy, we're going to see a heavy dose of more running this year. Not to say that Marvin Harrison and the rest of the wide receiver crew are going to get their receptions here, but man, just 88.5 just seems like a lot here. And if you go back even further, nobody in 2016, nobody in 2017, in 2018, Paris Campbell had 90 receptions. So it doesn't happen often. And
no.
Yeah. And in those years where they had the receivers getting over 88, they just had phenomenal quarterbacks to throw to. And I just, not saying Kyle McCord isn't going to be a phenomenal quarterback. It's just,
by the way,
that's just a high number to achieve.
He won't be all year. He'll struggle early. He'll struggle early, like especially if the bar is the last quarterbacking we saw, which was CJ Stroud having a Heisman worthy year.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the bar we're currently used to, and it is, he's not going to be that good right away. Kyle McCord's just not going to look that good right away. He needs to get some games under his belt.
Yeah. All right. Emeka Buka touchdowns set at 12.5.
Okay. So in 2021, Garrett Wilson got exactly 12, but Chris Olave got 13. Chris Olave got exactly 12 in 2019. So no one got it that year. Last year, Marvin Harrison got 14 and would have been the only one to go over. The 12.5 feels like a high mark, especially for the second wide receiver on the team. I'm going to go under.
Yep. Same here. Same reasons as what I mentioned in the previous one. Heavy dose running this year. I think the touchdowns are going to be lower on the passing side compared to what we've seen in previous years. All right. Tommy Pickles.
I think they can tighten. Austin, I think they can tighten down on Marv close to the end zone all they want. I don't think it matters.
Yeah. All right. Tommy Pickles Eichenberg, total tackles 122.5 under.
All right, Kyle, follow me on this one. Tommy Eichenberg in 2021. Remember when I said I tried to put 2021 on top, but I definitely didn't do it this time, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Let me just, okay, there we go. I fixed it. Tommy Eichenberg got 64 tackles in 2021. He got 120 tackles in 2022, this time leading the team. So if this trend continues, he should have 240 tackles.
Yeah.
That's how that works, right? That's how math works.
It's exactly how it works, Jared.
You say 122 isn't a lot, Austin, but it's more than anyone on the Ohio State defense. 122 makes you the leading tackler on the defense the last 2 years. I mean, he missed it. Yeah, he only missed it by 2 last year. He got 120 last year. I'm gonna go under, and I say that because I mostly think that the defense is going to be overall more competent, and when the defense is overall more competent, the tackles tend to disperse more evenly. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah. To me, it does. But
Austin says under is fair, but it'll be close. I agree. I still think he breaks 100. I still think he leads the team in tackles.
When's the last time an Ohio State player had over 122 tackles?
You know the answer. Why don't you just tell us?
I do. I want you to guess, Jared.
I'm gonna go with Vrabel. No, it wouldn't have been Vrabel. At DE, no way. AJ Hawk might be a plausible answer. I still want to say it's more recent than that, though. Jerome Baker.
No, more recent than that.
More recent than Jerome Baker?
Maybe.
Oh. More you were saying more recent than Hawk.
Yeah, more recent than Hawk, yeah. 2014.
Lee?
Joshua Perry. 124 tackles. And then in 2013, Shazier with 144 tackles.
Shazier was a beast. God.
He was.
I want to live in the alternate universe where I get to see a full career out of him in the pros, that is.
Yeah.
Perry might be the most underrated Buckeye ever. I mean, ever's a strong word, but in recent years, he's in the conversation.
He's in the conversation, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. All right, total points per game for the year set at 42.2, which the last 2 years was 44.2 and 45.7.
So Austin's essentially saying a little bit of a downturn, just a little tiny bit of a downturn.
And I would agree with that. And I do too. Will. Oof, that's a great number. And
it is a good number.
I'm gonna go under with this one as well, but not by much. Maybe at 41, 40, something like that. That's a good number citing. But yeah, not by much here. I'll say under 42.2 for the year.
Yeah, and I say this because I think Kyle's right. I think they're going to maybe try and run the ball a little bit more this year just to prove that they can. I also think that the offensive line, as we expect it to look, will be a better run blocking offensive line than it will be a pass blocking offensive line, which is different than what we've seen the past few years out of Ohio State. There might be, I think the defense will play better, so they won't have to score as much. I think the offense takes a bit of a downturn. Again, because I don't expect Kyle McCord to be all that great through the first 3-ish games. I think it'll take him 3 or so games to sort of warm into the season. And I think the defense will play better, and I think there'll be a stronger run focus this year. All of these things leading to more game clock being eaten up and probably a slight downturn in overall offensive production. Mm-hmm. So yep, I'll also go under, but it's legitimately probably like 39-40. Like not much. As long as he's ready by Notre Dame. I agree. And by the way, that's another reason why I think he won't look great. I don't think he'll look tremendous through the first 3 games. I don't think they're going to give him the full playbook to play with.
Maybe. I mean, it is game 4 as well. So
that's what I'm saying. I think they have I think they run through a pretty limited playbook the first 3 weeks.
Okay. All right. Next up here, we have total number of sacks, interceptions, and tackles for Sonny Styles at 67.5.
Sonny Styles. This is a weird thing to attempt to calculate. Sacks plus interceptions plus tackles. 67. If we're just talking pure tackles here for a second, 67 would make him the second leading tackler on the 2021 team and the 4th leading tackler on the 2022 team.
Yeah, it's as someone who will get to see the field more as the season goes along.
Yeah.
He would have to be starting and getting the vast majority of snaps all throughout the year. So I'm going to say under.
At what position is he a starter, though? At what position? The nickel safety. Does nickel say? Okay, so at what point did I say McAllister was leading in tackles? Because I don't think it did. That's not as the nickel safety. If you're saying strong safety, if you're saying jack,
yeah, that's a little different.
Your 2 linebackers, your strong safety, your jack. Those are the guys who are going to get most of the tackles.
But hey, I mean, if he is going to have similar stats to like what McAllister had, that's a 3 interception season there for Sonny Styles. But
McAllister isn't Sonny. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the number goes over so I can give you a fuck you at the end of the listen, I hope I'm wrong too. I hope he gets all of those numbers. And I hope he gets them all in the interception category.
All right. Next up here, total team points allowed per game at 19.4. I would love to see under 20.
It was 21 last year.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
And I believe I didn't put it in the notes. I think it was like 24 the year before that. I think they can improve by 2 points. I'll take the under. I think it'll be, I think this team will be that much better this year. Yes. Under.
I agree. I will finally take the over on Austin's over unders here. So I'll go over on this one here.
Kyle, I said under. Yeah. We're flipping it. It's a bit flipped because the positive is actually the under this time.
Agreed. Yeah. Okay. I see. I'm still going to go over still, okay. Jared. Okay. I'm still going over.
So how many points, Kyle, how many points per game do you think Ohio State's going to give up this year? Just so we know we're all on the same page right now.
I'm going to say it's going to be 19.9.
Okay. So it is in fact over.
Yes.
Okay.
That is still a good season. Yes.
Anything under 20 is totally acceptable.
Steel Chambers interceptions over under 3.5.
Steel Chambers had 2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
He had 1 the year before that. So if we're following the trend, he's only going to have 3 this year. Under.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. I'm going to go under it.
Even as a joke, that was a joking way to get to that answer, but also actually though still under.
Yeah, it's very tough. You don't see it often where you have where you have somebody who has 3 or more interceptions. It does not happen that often. I think the only you have to go back to, what is this, 2017, when you had someone with more than 3 interception, and that was Damon Webb.
Yeah, that makes
sense. Back in 2017. And then Malik Hooker had that stellar year in 2016 where we had 7 interceptions and 3 of those went for pick sixes.
He was our best offensive weapon that year.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Let's move on, Jared. Games where Ohio State wins by 15 or more points. And he has here 7.5 games.
All right. Winning by 15 or more. Would have happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 7 times last year.
1,
7.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yep, 7 times. Yep.
7 times last year. So that's assuming where the number comes from. Year before that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Kyle, I think we have another. That's a pretty good number alert. Because that is a pretty good number.
And looking at their games this year, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm going to go under here.
Yeah, but the defense. But also maybe more clock management, which would lead to less of that happening. Better defense might lead to more of that happening. Let's call it a wash. Let's say it happens exactly 7 times and go under.
All right. Players with a rushing touchdown at 7.5. So need 8 players with a rushing touchdown.
That's a very high number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 last year.
Oh, I'm sorting the wrong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, you're right. 7 last year.
Last year was such an anomaly, though. 7, but the quarterback will get one. But even then, last year was such an anomaly, Austin. Because if you look at the year before that, it's literally 5 guys. There's burgers, there's fries, there's only 5 guys. I got there first, Austin. The Ohio State does not go deep into their running back bench. Well, you do have to type. That's fair.
You have to go back to 2016 when the last time that happened. And of course, you had a quarterback that ran.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had multiple receivers who was able to do the sweeps as well, which then counted as a running play.
Sure. In 2021, Garrett Wilson got one of the touchdowns. So it's in 2022, Emeka Egbuka got one of them. Xavier Johnson got one, but I think he was playing running back at that. When he got that.
Yeah.
It feels like a high number. I'm going to go under.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. Especially since you're not going to have a quarterback scoring the touchdown, that's going to make it that much more difficult.
All right, Kyle, we are over 24 minutes in and only 10 questions down. We have to move faster.
All right, we'll do. Players who will take a snap at right or left tackle in meaningful playing time at 3.5.
Under.
So you're saying, yeah, I'm going to go under as well. So you pretty much saying
that's a huge failure.
You're going to have new. Go ahead.
I'm just saying that's a huge failure if that happens. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. So you're pretty much saying that, yeah, you're playing musical chairs on the tackles, and you do not want that to happen.
Or injuries. So. Well, yeah, musical chairs via injury. Guys out there, the first 3 games, if they don't know who the starting tackles are halfway through camp, it's a failure. Let alone through the actual season.
Yep. All right. JT Tuimoloau Sacks at 10.5.
Big number.
Jared?
It's a big number.
Over. I'm going to go over.
I'm going to go.
I think this is JT's year. I'm going to go over for him. I think he's going to have a monster year here.
This is not meant to be an insult to JT at all, but I think Jack Sawyer is also going to get some sacks this year. Williams is also going to get some sacks this year. Mike Hall's also going to get some sacks this year. I feel like it's going to be a competition to get sacks at times this year.
But if you're going to concentrate on JT, then you got Hamilton, you got Mike Hall, and then you mentioned Sawyer.
That's my
and then the
point.
other linebackers as well trying to come in and make a play too. Like you can't really focus on just JT. They're going to have to one-on-one JT in order to block everybody else. So I think JT is going to have a monster year.
Right, but those other guys JT might be in perfect position to get a sack, but Sawyer or Mike Hall just might get there first, is my point.
Okay. All right. That's your opinion.
Esquire says, I'm going under, but I think there's a few guys between 6 and 9. First, nice. Second, nice. I agree.
All right. So you're going under.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Moving on, Jared. Team field goal percentage at 88.5.
95 and 85 the past 2 years.
I'll go over. I'll go over on this one.
Yeah, I'll go over.
All right. Evan Pryor scrimmage yards, 431.5 yards. This one's tough because I really, really want him to stay healthy. And if he stays healthy, you bet the mortgage on this one. You take the over.
Here's my problem. Top 5 wide receivers in 2019, no running backs. Top 5 wide receivers in 2021, Henderson at 312, but Henderson legitimately like the starter, and no running backs in the top receiving in 2022. I don't think he's going to get to that yardage, with the majority of it being rushing yards. I think 1, that it's a good number. 2, I'm going to say just slightly under. Just slightly under.
You know what to do, chat. You know what to do.
Oh, they're already doing it. They've been doing it, Kyle. They've been doing it.
All right. Dallin Hayden carries at 22.5. The only way he's going to get 22.5 here is if Ohio State is blowing teams out, and maybe in Youngstown State he may get almost those 22 carries in that game. I'm going to go under here just because, again, if Evan Pryor stays healthy, he's going to get those snaps in the blowout games.
22 might be 22 is a great number. I'm trying to win Austin back. 22 is a great number. Because even if you look at like 2022, such an anomaly season with running backs. 2021, Henderson 183, Williams 71, Teague 67, Crowley 20, Evan Pryor 21. Like he just barely missed it the last season he was healthy. I'm going to go over.
All right. Ohio State final college football playoff rankings at 3.5. Well, if you listen to a couple
By the way,
of
when I
episodes
said
ago,
he just missed it, what I mean is like the fourth running back just missed it. Just so we're clear.
okay. So you were going
he didn't
over?
He didn't play in. No, I'm just saying he didn't play in 2021. When I said he almost got that in 2021, I mean he being not Hayden, he being the fourth running back.
Okay. So was that an over then?
Yeah, I'm still going with over.
Okay. All right. Ohio State final college football
Exactly, Austin.
playoff rankings at 3.5.
Just for
listen to me.
For clarity, Austin, we're talking about the football rankings and not what happens in the playoff, correct? Correct?
Yeah. Oh.
Indeed. Okay. I'm going to say, man, I think it's over.
While Jared's thinking, I'm going to go over. I think Ohio State does get in with one or multiple losses here. So I'm going to go over here.
Yeah. I'm gonna say under.
All right.
I'm gonna say under. I think they lose one, but I think they lose one close, and I think it's their only loss.
Mm-hmm. Carnell Tate and Brandon Ennis combined touchdowns at 2.5. Oof. I would love to see the over. It is. I would love to see this be over here. But I mean, you only need one of them to get 2 touchdowns and the other gets 1 here. So, and if you're looking last year, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, only 5 players that had in the receiving core that had more than 2 or more touchdowns here. So you're saying with their current roster, and then add in Tate and Ennis to get multiple touchdowns, that's tough. But I'll still take the over. Because I think they'll somehow get on the field at some point in the season.
Yeah, it's tough. I think I'm gonna go. God, I wish it was 1.5.
Yeah.
I really wish it was 1.5. I'm gonna go over, but I think it's legitimately like 3. Like I think it's a pretty perfect number.
All right. Starting quarterback. Let me rephrase this. Okay. Starting quarterback pass yardage. Kyle McCord. Over under 4,109.5.
Under.
Yep, I'm going under here.
If you legitimately look at like quarterbacks under Ryan Day, which have been the best and I'm including offensive coordinator Ryan Day when I say that, some of the best quarterback performances you've only seen someone go over 4,000 yards twice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think if McCord comes back, he'll do it next year. This year will be tough. So I'm going to go under.
Mine Williams rushing yards, 682.5.
I'm gonna go under. He barely got, well, I mean, he's over 100, about 150 yards over that. The last year when he was the lead carrier, and if Henderson stays healthy and if Evan Pryor stays healthy, I don't think Williams is the lead carrier. So I'm gonna go under.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under too. If you have a healthy running back group, he's not gonna get that many yardage. Ohio State turnover margin at 9.5. 9.5, where the previous years was 8 and 9.
Yeah. You have a veteran wide receiver group, which will help. You have a young, well, an inexperienced, not young, but inexperienced quarterback. That'll hurt. I think you'll have a defense.
Questionable offensive line as well.
Questionable offensive line, which will hurt. But I also think you have a defense going into your second year in this system, a secondary that I've never felt better about. I don't remember the last time I felt this good about a secondary at Ohio State. So I'm gonna go over. I think it's like 12. I think 12 is the number. You have to bank on the defense getting more. I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, and I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go under this year. And just with an inexperienced quarterback and an iffy offensive line, I just worry that may put into positions where he has to make plays and could cause turnovers there. I think 9.5 is too big of a number.
Yeah, I mean, I'm banking more on the defense creating them. I think there'll just be more turnovers, period, both given up and taken.
That's fair. All right, we got Stover touchdowns at 6.5. So Austin is saying that this is going to be the year of the tight end with 6.5 touchdowns.
He got 5 last year. Jeremy Ruckert, as the starting tight end, got 3 the year previous. I don't see him increasing his touchdowns by 2. I think they'll rotate the tight ends a little bit deeper this year. I don't know if Stover gets as many snaps this year as he got last year. So I'm gonna go under. But Jared,
but Jared,
it's always the year of the tight end. Austin, it's always the year of the tight end.
I'm going back, and I still cannot find, Jared, a tight end with 7
Dudley.
or more.
Ricky Dudley. I bet you have to go back to Ricky Dudley. Stoney did it. Oh, I think Stoney did do it. I think he had like 10. Would that have been Tress's last year, or would that have been the forgotten season? He had 3 the first game. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I think Tress was still there.
Stoneburner in 2012 had 4. So if I go back to 2011, he had 7.
Okay.
He had 7 in 2011, which led all receivers in touchdowns that year.
All of this makes sense.
Right. We're going under, right?
We are going under.
All right. Igbinosun and Burke interceptions at 7.5. From what I've seen from Igbinosun so far, and what I know of Burke, Jared, screw it. I'm going over. I'm going over here.
In my opinion, I think you'll see more of the turnovers created by the safeties and the linebackers. I think that the cornerbacks are going to have their dudes sort of locked down. And if the ball is sent in that direction, it's probably the safety coming over in relief who's actually going to get it. I think in most cases, if you look at the interceptions the past few years, McAllister had the most at 3.
Okay.
If after that, Chambers, JT, Eichenberg, Hickman, linebacker, defensive end, linebacker, safety. That's last year. Year before that, Hickman, safety, Watts, safety, Chambers, linebacker, Eichenberg, linebacker, and then Brown got one, and then Martinez got one. I think it'll be welcome Kabuto. I think it'll be mostly the under. I think it'll mostly be the underneath and over guys, and not necessarily the man up guys that get the interceptions.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So Jared's taking under. I'm taking the over here.
SloopCast Kabuto. Did you re-up?
Here we go. He did. I just saw it just come through now.
Nice.
All right.
There he is.
Moving on, Jared. Let's move a little quicker here. So Ohio State total forced fumbles on the season at 11.5. I'm going back a few years here, Jared.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ohio State does a pretty good job at the forcing the fumbles here. And I'm going to go back to like the year of 2019 when Chase Young had that tremendous year, 16.5 sacks, 7 forced fumbles just on him alone.
Yeah.
And I'm predicting JT Tuimoloau getting 10.5 sacks this year. Yeah, I'm going to take the over on this one.
Yeah, I think the important thing, as Austin pointed out, specifically forced, not recovered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that if it was recovered, I'd say under. At forced, I'll say over.
Okay, Jared's going over as well for forced. Ohio State sacks allowed at 18.5.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but I think it's going to be over. I think it's going to be over here.
I'm going to say under. I think Ryan Day and crew are smart enough, even if the offensive line isn't what it needs to be. I think Ryan Day and crew are smart enough to like not get McCord killed. So if that means keeping in extra blockers, if that means throwing the ball quickly, what did we give up last year? 12.
17.
Or 17.
I'm sorry,
12 and 17.
Yeah, 12.
I forget which year is which year.
Yeah, 12 last year, 17 the previous. Yeah, correct. Or 2011, 2021. All right.
Hey, Austin,
Ohio State.
Do you have permissions to promote him? You might.
All right. Next one here, Jared. Ohio State games without an offensive turnover at 4.5.
Under. Again, I think. Oh, okay. It just hasn't updated on my screen yet. That's fine then. Under. I'm gonna say under. I think there'll just be more turnovers this year, good and bad. Both giving. Over? Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I'm saying
I'm saying under. Or
you're saying
games
under.
without under. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to go under. I'll go under as well too. That's 5 games. So about half of the season here to not have an offensive turnover. Yeah. I'll go under. TreVeyon Henderson rushing touchdown or rushing yardage at 1449.5.
1449.5. If he's healthy this year.
Definitely could be over if he's healthy.
If he's healthy and Ryan Day wants him to, he will. What I don't know is how much running back by committee there'll be this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say over, but I don't feel great about it. I think it's a good number.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm going to go over as well too, especially looking at historically of how running backs have gotten the ball. It's always in kind of an off year. Then the next year there's somebody who comes up and does really well. Then it's an off year. Then maybe you have 2 years in a row with the same running back that does really well. I'm looking at you at Zeke there. So I think this is the year we're going to see TreVeyon get like 1,600 yards or so.
Xavier Johnson touchdowns at 3.5. Feels like a lot. Are these specifically scrimmage or are we special teams?
Well, last year he had 3.
I know.
Last year he had 3.
He had 3 on a team that dealt with injuries all year.
Very true.
I think that's why he got as much attention as he did.
Yeah. I'm gonna go under as much as I want to say over.
Yeah, I agree. Oh boy. Poor Kyle. Kickoff or punt returns for a touchdown.
You're killing
over
me.
Under set
you're killing me, Austin.
0.5.
You're killing me, Austin.
Listen, the kick return's over. It's not a thing anymore.
Yeah. The only thing that's going to happen is punts, a punt return.
Listen, I'm gonna say over, simply because it only takes one play to hit on this. That's the entire reason.
No, block punts don't count.
No, it has to be. Well, a block.
It's a return.
Punt,
It's a return. We have a new rule. No, we're talking about returns here.
well, technically,
talking about returns.
Technically, a blocked punt or field goal would count as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. Then it's a return. Punts aren't returned.
Return for touchdowns. Yeah,
I'm going over. Ye of little faith, Kyle.
I'm going under until Ted Ginn Jr. is back on the lineup here. Like it's under.
One day, Kyle, one day.
Yeah. One day.
The server will crash the server when it happens. Kyle, your phone will melt with everyone tagging you.
Yes, and I hope so. Mike Hall sacks for the year, 6.5.
Over.
Jared expects a big year from big old Mike Hall Jr.
He was dominant through September before he got banged up and it slowed him down. He had such I don't know if people actually remember how dominant he was in September of last year when he was healthy.
He was. No, he
it is
definitely
a good number.
Was. Yeah.
It's an excellent
I'm going to
number.
go under. I think he gets like 5 or 6 this year. So
that's fair.
Getting 7 as a defensive tackle is amazing.
Is it? It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
It is. It's amazing.
He could do it.
Ohio State defensive touchdowns for the year, 2.5. Now, if we're going to go back here,
but
last year,
gonna go back.
Last year,
go way back.
Last year,
keep talking, Kyle. Ignore me.
Okay,
keep
last
talking,
year
Kyle,
it was 3. It was 3 last year.
Okay.
2021 was 6.
Okay.
Heck, even in 2020 with a shortened year, they had 3.
Okay.
2019 was just 1, and then 2018 was 4. I'm going to take the over, Jared.
I agree. You convinced me.
All right, and last one here, we have Ohio State starting quarterback total touchdowns at 37.5. Now, we talked about this, again, a couple of episodes ago about the...
second to last one.
It was the one where we were on Bleacher Report talking about expectations, and we talked about Kyle McCord and our expectations for him this year, and we looked at that every first time starting quarterbacks at Ohio State, CJ, Fields, Haskins, and Barrett. It's a very high expectation for Kyle McCord to come in and try to do as well as what all these quarterbacks did. And I think he's going to have, I want to say, similar numbers to kind of like what Justin Fields had his first year, about maybe about 3,000 to 3,300 yards for the season, maybe about 40 touchdowns for the year. So I'll go over on that one. But to try to get to like 45, like what CJ Stroud did, and don't even get me about trying to do what Haskins did with 50. No. Just no.
I'm gonna go over. I think Kyle's right. I think Justin Fields' 2019 season is. I think if he can do that, and if the offensive line allows him to, if the offensive line allows Kyle McCord to throw for 3,300 yards and 41 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, 67% completion percentage, which is a step down from what CJ Stroud did, just so we're clear. If Justin Fields can do that, or excuse me, if Kyle McCord can do what Justin Fields did in Justin Fields' first year, I think Ohio State has a legit shot at winning the Natty. If my expectations for their defensive improvement is realized, I think they can win the Natty with that performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even if, agreed. Fields going 41 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. God, that would be amazing.
Cordell enters chat. Starts for Tristan or Lincoln. Under. Okay, we have one more ceremonial bonus. I said 31 plus 1. We have one additional question.
Sure. As is tradition, right?
As is tradition. Yeah, the Haskins season is still, if you look at a single season performance, and I'm not saying a performance by a single season quarterback, I am saying a single season performance. He far and away best Buckeye quarterback season of all time. It's just not even close.
Hands down. Yeah. I mean, what Justin Fields did his first year was amazing as well, too. He had almost as many total touchdowns as Haskins did, but Haskins almost 5,000 passing yards. That is just ridiculous.
By the way, Colin Cowherd, go fuck yourself. Kyle, we have one more question.
Oh, yeah, I totally forgot what you meant. Yes.
Yeah. If you don't know,
all right,
Google it.
Yeah. All right. And the last one here, Jared, and everybody can follow along here with this one. The amount of dams we give for the whole state of Michigan.
Over under at 0.999. Repeating. Kyle, I'm going to smash the under.
Bet the mortgage.
Bet the mortgage on the under. I give no dams. All right, Kyle, that's the show. Do you have anything in Kyle's corner?
Good question. Actually, we had a couple of black stripes. We love talking about black stripes on this show here. And we have I'm just making sure I'm seeing right. All right. So the first one I have here is actually a pair of offensive linemen. We have Jimmy Simons, and we have Victor Cutler.
Those are your two it's Simmons, Jimmy Simmons. He actually, by the way, he actually goes by Jimmy. I know that's not the name he was brought in under. I know who they are. Oh, okay. Yeah. But those are the two transfer offensive linemen who came in. I fully expect Simmons to start at right tackle. That is my expectation. I think Cutler will be a valuable backup, like a very important, valuable backup. Josh James, Jim Simmons. I can only think of the LeBron James meme with the cigarette in his mouth. To
talk about Vic though, they did talk recently about how he was really taking advantage of Ohio State's nutrition and strength resources, and has just had a total overhaul in his body too. He just looks completely different than when he first came on the campus.
It's a good sign. I mean, just like the fact that if Ryan Day's taking time during the press conference to talk about you, it's a good sign.
It is. Absolutely.
Josh James, Jim Simmons, doesn't matter. Buckeyes by 40. Exactly.
All right. I think that's it here, Jared. I think we'll end it there as we are coming up on our hour mark here.
All right. We're actually going to stay under the hour this week, maybe.
Take the under
on the hour. Honestly, it all just depends upon how quickly I announce the band, and I'm saying if
Jared's wasting time.
Shut up, Kyle. That's the
Jared.
joke. That's the joke, Kyle. Stop giving away the joke. Sweet you two. Nah, I'm not going to try and sneak one in at the hour mark. That would make me a dick. Any music suggestions in the chat? We have a full room. Any music suggestions in the... Only fun if you explain it. Yeah, exactly. Any music suggestions in the chat? That would mark of making you a dick. Yeah, exactly. Music suggestions. I mean, Jerry would go tried and true. I want to try and mix it up a little bit. Let's go with a band called Old 100. Go with the band called Old 100. It's a number. Feels fitting. So with all that being said, I'd like to encourage everyone to drink local beer, listen to local music, and of course, support your local podcasters. Once again, this is Old 100.